story of my adoption goes like this. My father died in Vietnam. My mother died in childbirth. My adoptive parents had a biological son, but after a few miscarriages were told they couldn't have any more children. They always wanted a little girl, so they chose me. This story is meant to make me feel special, but it doesn't. It makes me feel horrible. My mother died giving birth to me. I killed my mother. It makes me so sad. I was chosen. That's what they tell me, but I don't feel it. Their house is devoid of love and affection. There is an abundance of abuse in a variety of forms, and it's unrelenting. I find out my birth mother is alive as an aside in a teenage argument with my adoptive mother, Ruth. I bet you want to find her, you ungrateful bitch. I try not to react, not to let it show that Ruth just let something slip. She continues ranting while my mind wanders. Find her? She's alive? For the first time, I let myself think about who my mother might be. It preoccupies me daily afterward. Shortly after this new information about my mother's existence, in my first year of sexual activity, I become pregnant. Sex is never discussed in my house unless it's to call a woman a slut. I know there's a time each month when I can't get pregnant, but I was never taught the importance of keeping track of my cycle. When teenage impulsivity wins out and I say, it's okay, when he doesn't have a condom, I really think I'm going to get away with it, but I don't. I tell my boyfriend while sitting on a bench swing in the park after dark. We sit in silence for a while until he says, I'll pay for it. What? How could I do that? I'm adopted. If my mother did that, I wouldn't be here. He asks, well, what else can you do? Good question. What else could I do? Keeping a baby and raising it is out of the question. I can't wait to get out of my adoptive home myself. I hate it. I cannot raise a baby there for so many reasons. Adoption? Look how well mine turned out. I couldn't possibly let a baby go knowing that it could end up in a loveless, violent home like the one I grew up in. So at 16, I find myself in the same position as my birth mother. This is the only thing I know about her, that she had an unplanned pregnancy. In a bizarre way, it makes me feel like I know her a little bit. I know how she felt, panicked, scared, uncertain, ashamed. I'm feeling the same way she must have felt, a connection. One big difference is that in 1983, I have a choice. In 1967, she did not. I imagine this is how I ended up in my violent home. Before Roe v. Wade, there were too many unplanned pregnancies and not enough homes. I opt for the abortion. My boyfriend drives me to the clinic. I can hear the protesters before I see them. I try not to look at their signs with photos of fetuses. I don't understand what they're saying, and I don't want to know. 4 hours later, we go out the same door and make our way through the throng. They no longer smack up against my world. They feel very far away. I'm groggy and sick from the drugs. I'm in pain. I'm bleeding. I'm devastated. He takes me back to my adoptive home where maintaining a separate life has become a protective habit. They will never know of this. He does pay for it. It costs $200, the same amount of money my adoptive parents paid to get me. 4 years later, I get pregnant again, and this time I become a mother. The love I feel for my son is unlike anything I have ever experienced in my life. It is all-encompassing. I want to shield him from the world. I want to prevent him from feeling any pain. Did my mother ever feel this way about me? I miss my son when he's away from me. Does my mother miss me? One day, I'm flipping through the channels, and I see that Oprah is having an adoptee reunion show. I am sucked in. I am riveted to these people's stories. The longing of the adoptee, I know that longing. The void of not knowing where you come from, I have that void. The story pulls me along an emotional current that I am powerless to stop. And then, oh man, here it comes, the big reveal. Bring out the mother! I am right there with them sobbing uncontrollably. I feel so stupid. I don't know these people, but on some level I do. My heart aches. Could this ever happen to me? That's it. I'm going to do this. It's 1990. I don't have a computer. There is no internet. So I put my baby in the car and I go to the library. I find an organization called ALMA, the Adoptees Liberty Movement Association. And it turns out they're having a meeting this weekend in Manhattan. Before I know it, I'm in a huge room listening to story after story about long, painful searches. Successful searches, failed searches, searches that conclude in a denial, a slammed door, a hang-up, or a gravestone. I don't know what I will find, but I am resolved. I will do this no matter how long it takes. I join the group. I write out my check, and I give them all the information I have about myself. My date of birth, my city of birth, and the agency that placed me. That's it. That's all I know about myself. And it's illegal for me to obtain my original birth certificate or any other identifying information through official means. A few days later, I'm mopping the floor, and the phone rings. Hello, this is Florence Fisher, founder of ALMA. Shit, my check must have bounced. Jude, we found your mother. Whoa. I can't speak. The floor is tilting, and I feel like I'm going to fall. I grab for the door frame and slide to the floor. What? I croak. Florence knows she needs to say this slowly. We found your mother, dear. She's in our computer. She registered with us in 1972, but she hasn't updated her information with us in a few years. I choke out through sobs. She's been looking for me? Yes, dear. She's been looking for you since you were 5. It takes little more than a week of detective work to find a current address, no phone number, just an address. I send an overnight letter. The next day, I panic every time the phone rings. I'm completely useless. I'm a jangle of nerves. When I pick up the phone and I hear a woman struggling with her words, I know it's her. This is the best gift you could give me, she says. Tomorrow's my birthday. The next Saturday, I am on a plane out to LA to meet my mother. Less than 4 weeks after watching that Oprah reunion show and wondering, could this ever happen to me? As the plane descends, I am overcome with anticipation. I can't believe this. I'm going to meet my mother. I don't even know what she looks like. I get off the plane and anxiously search the crowd at the gate until I'm the only person left. Did she change her mind? I walk heavily to baggage claim, looking for a woman alone. Every middle-aged female face has potential. But as their eyes easily glance away, my hope fades. What have I done? I've just flown across the country to a strange city where I know absolutely no one, trying to find a woman I've never seen before. Why did I do this? I begin to panic when I hear my name over the speakers. Jude Klinger, meet your party in baggage area C. Okay, baggage area C. I hurry to baggage area C, which is deserted. I just see a man sweeping the floor. Okay, well, she didn't change her mind. I was paged, so she's here somewhere, and I hear my name again. Jude Klinger, meet your party in baggage area B. That's where I just was. I hurry back just to find a few stragglers, no new faces, and I wait. I see a courtesy phone. Hello? Yes, I hope so. I'm Jude Klinger. Please tell Pamela Pernot that her party is waiting under the white courtesy phone in baggage area B and is not moving. I sit on my suitcase exhausted. Overwhelmed, I put my head in my hands. I see legs moving toward me, and I look up to see a woman with her arms outstretched.